everyone, and welcome back to my channel for my last official video in my relationship sagas. So next week I'm going to start some new topics about dating and relationships, but for now this last video is my last trilogy of Bear and I, and trust me, there won't be, I don't know if there is there a name for a part 4, I don't know, part 4. There will not be a part 4, I assure you that. Things came up that pretty much sealed our fate, from babies to failed moving plans and all kinds of issues that we went through this last time. So stay tuned and I will let you know what, the end of Bear and I was. In my previous videos, I really felt like Bear was just my person, and because of that it was just so hard for me to just let our relationship go. I ended my last video with talking about how he had gotten engaged, and so that broke my heart a little bit, even though we weren't even really in contact at that point, but still it stung a little, not gonna lie. So we didn't talk for about a year, and then out of nowhere, that tends to happen with men. They're sending you that, hey stranger type text. So I pretty much got like a hey stranger text from him about a year later, and then we just started talking and catching up and things like that, and it was just very casual. Like I said, we've always had a great friendship, even if we didn't have a great romantic relationship. Like, we just could always vibe really well, and I think that was just really our glue. And so long story short, we started talking again, and maybe a couple months into it, he expressed like, hey, I really want to get out of Buffalo, and I'm thinking that, maybe moving down there with you and being closer to you, like maybe we could really make something work, and yada yada. I really need a change and this and that, and I really care about you, I really miss you, like whoop de whoop. So all of that, and what's sad is that I think us women all too often will fall in love with the words that people say, and then it just makes our minds all warped, and we're feeling all warm and fuzzy, but then in our brain it's really like alert alert. I wish I could say that he wasn't my weakness and I didn't fall for all of those things, but essentially I did, because when he came to visit, I really did see a more mature side of him. I have a hair. Sorry, it's driving me nuts. Don't you hate that? Got it. So I really did see like a more mature side of him, and so I was like, well, maybe he's changed. Like that big, maybe, and that, thing that women just want to tell ourselves, that, people can change, and sometimes we lie to ourselves and think that we can even change them, which isn't the case. But so we talked about him moving down here, us getting an apartment together. It had gotten deep. Like, we were talking every day, we were FaceTiming, having our little FaceTime dates. Those are really crucial. But, so, we really were talking about maybe planning a future together. So he comes to visit, about like 4 or 5 months, about 5 months after we started talking again and reconnected, and we came and looked at apartments, and we spent about 4 days together, and so it was really nice, and I was thinking, maybe this could really work. He gets home, mind you, let me back up and digress. So while I was here, I was upset one day. So it wasn't all, you know, lovey-dovey, because I was upset because, like, I told him, you know, I know you have a lot of friends and, you know, family and stuff like that. Like, this trip just be about us? Like, can you come down here, not be on your phone, not calling people, not texting, like, you know, within reason. I know you got to call your mama. I know you're mama's boy. I know you got to call your mama, and I respect that. But can you just make this weekend about us? And that wasn't the case. Like, he was texting the whole time. The night before he came here, this was so important, I'm sorry. So backing up, the night before he came here, he asked me if I would bring him, no. So the morning that he was coming, he was like, hey, can you bring me some aspirin and Gatorade? I'm like, yeah, sure. But I'm not, like, dumb. Like, aspirin and Gatorade, you got a hangover? So evidently he had a hangover from drinking the night before. And I'm like already a little bit nervous, like, before he gets off the plane, because I'm like, well, like, why would you, like, drink the night before you come here? Like, you know how important it is. Like, why would you even, like, jeopardize your ability to get up and, like, come? So, you know, it was just, it started a little rocky, but, you know, like, once you see the person, it's like, oh, all is forgotten. And it's all like, I just want to love you. So that's pretty much how it was, like, for most of the time, except for, you know, I did have a little bit of a temper tantrum because I'm like, why are you texting people? Like, this is our time. Like, why are you texting? Got over that. He's like, it's work, people, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, the lies we believe. So I said it was work, and I got over it because I'm like, look, you came 1,000 miles to see me. I'm not gonna ruin our time. So I really tried hard not to do that, and I really tried to just be in the moment and block it out. So when he got home, it was like all of our plans for him to move and, you know, everything that we had talked about was like different now. I'm like, well, why aren't you wanting to move anymore? And he's like, well, you just live in too rural of a part of Florida, and I don't think I'll be happy there, and this and that, and, like, just all these things. It's like, mind you, he came to visit me in Panama City, and Panama City is smaller than the city I live in now. So how much more, like, different, like, you already knew what Panama City looked like, but, you know, whatever, it is what it is. You know, excuses. So he's like, oh, you know, I don't want to be there, and blah, 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 and, like, okay, so guess we're at a stalemate. We kept talking for a while, but it was, like, really in vain, and I kept trying to, like, express that to him. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, how are we still talking, you know, like, we have a future and we don't have a future. Like, we're at an impasse. Like, you're not gonna move down here. You know I can't leave. My dad is sick, and he's not, unfortunately, going to get that much better if he gets better. And that'll be another video for another time. But, so you know my situation, so you know that I can't move too far away from him. So if you're not gonna move here and I can't move anywhere with you, then what are we doing? So, I mean, we really kind of just went through the motions. I started talking to an ex briefly, which he got upset about, but I'm like, look, like, it's situational. Like, you're not moving down here. Like, in my opinion, like, we're not together. So I know you're up there doing God knows what. And he actually admitted that, you know, he was messing around with someone. So it's like, you know, what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. I know that's an old school term, but it's like men just feel like they can sit up and have their cake and eat it too. Like, I'm supposed to be at home miserable, not going out, not dating, not seeing other people. And it's like, we are in this, you know, weird limbo. Like, there's no way out of our situation. Like, neither one of us are gonna give. Therefore, I mean, why can't I hang out with other people? Like, you've basically said that our future is not gonna happen anymore. And we're still talking every day, like, there's gonna be something. So yeah, I started, like, hanging out with my friends again and going out and eating and hanging out and watching movies and, you know, just being a normal person, you know? And so he was upset about that. We ended up stopped talking for maybe like maybe for like a month. We started talking again. He was gonna come and visit again, and you know, because I'm in the apartment that we were supposed to get together that he loves so much, and so he was supposed to come and visit, and then we started arguing and fighting again because of the fact that he couldn't get over the fact that I was seeing one of my exes, which was just really just casual us hanging out. So he couldn't get over that. Well, he made me think he couldn't get over that. So we stopped talking again, and I was like, you know, he was really tearing me down, and I'm like, you said like you have this whole other person, but I'm supposed to believe like, oh well, it's just nothing, it's just sex, or it's just whatever. So I'm like, you have this whole other person, but yet you're mad at me, and you're making it seem like I'm a hoe, and just like all kinds of just bad things that he was saying. Like, I mean, I don't think that he necessarily called me a hoe, but I mean, he pretty much like was just tearing me down and like slut shaming me, you know. Can't remember exactly what it was saying. It's neither here nor there. I'm sure you guys know what slut shaming is. So he just made me feel so bad, like I was the one that was ruining us and this and that, and you see the manipulation in it all, I'm sure already. So we stopped talking altogether because I'm like, look, I'm not gonna let someone keep talking to me like this. I'm just not. So I just let it go. And he didn't text me, I didn't text him, and we just basically had gone our separate ways. Speed up several months later. This was December of last year, is when all this was kind of going, well, from about July to December of last year. So December comes around, and I forget like how we even started talking again, but he ended up telling me that the reason why he wasn't moving is because he got some girl pregnant, and he found out the night before he came to visit me. So everything became clear. It's like, you know, the fog was lifted, like I had my aha moment, you know, everything just added up. You know, the way he got drunk the night before he came to visit me, the way he was on his phone texting the whole time, the way he was sitting up and picking fights and, you know, making it seem like it was all me, you know, and lo and behold, you know, it's just, I'm sure women can relate, like not even to necessarily this exact situation, but the fact of like how the progression goes down of, you know, men manipulating us into thinking that things are our fault, or, you know, trying to get us to see something that's not really there. Like, it's crazy. So that happened. So where we are now, I mean, he was a very dear friend, and obviously I didn't take the baby situation well. We didn't talk for a while. After that, again, we talk here and there, and what I mean by that is like maybe every 2 to 3 months at that, you know, just because we do have a bond, just because we do have certain things that like both of us just share together. And so it's hard when someone knows this huge part of you that you would have to spend hours trying to explain to someone else. It's like he has so much of my life, I feel like, and it's so hard and it's so sad because, you know, I kept telling him while all this was going on, I'm like, this is our last shot. Like, if this is not worth this time, like, this is our last shot. Even before the baby, before everything, I was like, you know, this is really just it. Like, this is our last opportunity to see if something can work out. And I really meant that. And I mean, there's not going to be a second time or fourth time. There's just not, because I'm just so much in a different place, and I'm gonna do a separate video on that, just because it's kind of like a whole nother issue and it's kind of encompassing everything. So I won't do it on his video, I'll do a separate one, so please watch both, because I really wanted to kind of wrap up like this saga of my relationships by seeing what I learned and, you know, what I'm doing differently now. And it's really important to me to be able to share with you guys, like, you know, where I am now and what this whole journey has taught me, because I mean, it definitely wasn't all for naught, but like I said, Bear and I don't really talk very much, but, you know, we will talk about certain things. And, you know, I do know that I can always call him. I do know that if I really needed him, like, he would be there. And it's sad and it sucks, but at the same time, it's like, I do have to learn, you know, to set boundaries with people. And I can't grow if I stay in the same place with people. And, you know, that's just our reality. You know, he's going on with his life. I don't even ask. You know, it's really hard for me to even ask about his daughter. So how can you be friends if you can't even ask about such a major thing in someone's life? You know, like, you can't, you know? So Bear and I just didn't work out. We gave it a good run, as you guys can see, and it's fine. Things just don't always work out, so it is what it is. I mean, I do still love and care and cherish him, but, you know, I have to move on. Life goes on, and I'm moving on. So please stay tuned for my next video, which, like I said, is going to just kind of be a wrap up of all of these videos and all of these relationships. Bear in particular taught me so much about, you know, the need to set boundaries, like that manipulation with men, and, you know, just so much. Like, just that one person, like, taught me, like, a world of, you know, lessons. And so it is what it is. It made me who I am. I am very unapologetic about my past because there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. And I don't think that it would be right or fair for anybody to judge me for my past, because I am openly a Christian, and I do believe in God, and I do believe Jesus is my Savior, and I've been saved since I was 16, and a lot of people feel, you know, like, well, you know, you're having sex, or you're dating people, and you're doing this and you're doing that. But, you know, everybody's got their story, everybody's got their struggle. There's Christians that are, you know, like I said, I think in one of my other videos, like, they have addiction problems. There's Christians that are homosexuals, you know, like, let people be. It's just kind of what my relationship saga has been, you know, wanting to kind of lead up to showing people, is that, you know, it's okay that you made mistakes. You know, it doesn't make you a bad Christian. It doesn't make you a bad person. You know, relationships really take a lot out of you. Relationships make you do a lot of crazy things. And, you know, if I could go back, I would be a virgin before I got married. I really feel like if I was, and I would have made a different choice in men, you know, all the way around. I think that probably 95% of the relationships that I was in probably wouldn't have happened if sex wasn't on the table, you know. So everybody has their journey, everybody has their story. This is mine. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching all my crazy relationship stories. And like I said, the future for my channel is me talking about dating topics every week. So I'm gonna have just different relationships, you know, issues that come up, you know, particularly with Christians, but just, you know, in general too, because, you know, I do want to appeal to everybody. You know, I do want to, you know, share, you know, my religious views and, you know, my Christianity with other people as much as I can, and as much as people would want me to and receive. So I'm going to continue to do that, but I don't want to single anybody out either. I definitely want my channel to be for anybody, you know, young and old, that can relate and just need some uplifting. A lot of people write me on Instagram, they make comments under my posts, or they DM me and tell me a little bit about their stories, and I think that that's awesome, and I love that, and I hope that you guys will continue to do that. It does make me feel like I am doing something, you know, like, even if, you know, my subscriber count doesn't show it, even if my view count doesn't show it, you know, there's strangers that I've connected with all over the country that, you know, have said, you know, I really, sorry, a low battery, but strangers all over the country that have been like, you know, I really agree with what you wrote, or, you know, one of your videos, or what you said, or, you know, like, this is really true, this spoke to me, you know, and that's awesome, and that's my goal. So, you know, if I never get more subscribers, if I never get, you know, my views to all these crazy YouTubers that just have millions of views, you know, that's okay, because that's just not my purpose. I did just want to share my story, and I want to continue to be able to inspire others. It's actually been a really cool experience, so I'm grateful for those of y'all that hung in there, and I welcome any newbies that want to catch up. Not a lot of people ask me questions about my videos, so I don't know if I'm just explaining so much that y'all don't have any, but anyway, if you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. Definitely subscribe to my channel before you go as well. Like I said, I definitely want to have some more inspirational relationship type videos for, you know, everyone's, you know, walk of life and every type of scenario. I've been married, I've been divorced, you know, I've dated guys with kids, I've dated people in the military, I've dated black guys, I've dated white guys, I've dated Hispanic guys, like I've been there. Been there. So definitely subscribe to my channel for more videos, and I will see you guys soon.